Okay. Enough of that music. We want to hear what you have to say. The beautiful Beatrice Noel. I love your different looks. I love your spirit. I love your essence. And you could do me no wrong. Let me tell you something. If I was a judge and they accused you of doing the worst crime, I say, I don't care what she did. She's walking flat free. You know why? Because Beatrice Noel. That's why. That's why. I don't care who gets mad. I don't care who doesn't like it. I mean, as long as it's not messing with babies or beating up old grandmothers or something. Other than that,
exactly. Nah, I ain't no better about, man. What the hell?
I know that. I just had to throw it in there because I said, no matter what you did, so somebody's going to come in the comment section and say something stupid, you know. So, how are you doing this day?
I'm all right, man. I mean, I'm all right. Just like eat because of the job, because you got to sit 9 hours, well, 8 hours, but you're listening to people travel basically. I mean, if you don't have a certain personality, you can't do it. Because these people, you know, they're without a job for months and they got no money. You're just waiting on that unemployment check. The last one, the before last one, oh my God, she was nasty. She's yeah.
They're waiting for the money, but that money can't cover enough after weeks and weeks. And
you know, but you can tell them that, you know, exactly. Because they're like, for example, they're about to lose their house. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm empathizing with you, but you do know that cannot cover the rent or the mortgage, right? I can say that, but
right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a frightening situation to be in, and my heart goes out to all those who are there.
I know, right? I know.
But not to play devil's advocate in this situation, I would not knock them. But do you think that many people will learn from this experience? You know, like back in the day, from the Depression days when they had the soup kitchens and no work and things were mean. A lot of those people that are older now, a lot of them passed away. You know, there were kids now if they're still alive, but that impacted their lives so much that they became very frugal. They became people who were very aware. How much they had, they were wasteful. You can be a multimillionaire and see a penny on the ground, and you're going to pick it up because you know the value of that penny. Do you think that the people in this day and age, and we're going to get on with the topic about relationships, but do you think in this day and age that with what is happening now, especially with what happened back in 2008, now we're having this thing.
Yeah. We barely recovered from 2008 and now this happened. Yeah.
Right. Do you think they'll learn? Do you think they're going to learn from this period?
I think they will. I think they'll, but the thing is, you know, I cannot put the blame too much on them. Because
no,
you know, on the other side of the spectrum, you hear Jeff Bezos and the Tesla guy being trillionaires. It's like, what the fuck? How come there's 30% of the population is homeless and you motherfuckers are trillionaires? Like, explain this to me. How you became a trillionaire exactly?
That's yeah, I know.
Even the other one, Bill Gates, and the other one, what's his name? I forgot his name, but yeah,
so many. Look at the so-called queen.
That made no sense.
And whatever they are, she's more than that. Exactly.
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. But just like you said, like I gotta go to them, and some of them, you know, I just, even though I know I cannot do anything, I try to talk to them, you know, like because for example, they want you to just straight up ask for the information. You know, and I straight up get to business. Me, that's not my personality. I mean, I'll ask you, I say, I am Beatrice. How are you doing? How can I help you? That's how I start. So I listen.
Exactly.
After I listen, then I ask you for information. That's how I work. when as soon as you do that, it kind of tones them down. They don't have to get aggressive with you. But my before last customer, goddamn.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
That's the thing. Okay, just like everybody else, she needs that money. But she already owe 20 grand. She already owe 20 grand. How can you owe 20 grand to unemployment, man? How you manage to do that?
No, that's.
How you manage to do
Explain
that?
that one to me. I don't know.
No.
You got to explain that one to me.
No, she lied. She was lying because she said they told her that they were going to give her money. I'm like, who told you that? You owe 20 grand. Who told you that? You ain't gonna get anything. So I told her to be as nice as possible, but now she started inventing shit. She said she gonna get a lawyer. I'm like, bitch. You say you don't have, you waiting on that unemployment check, and then you say, what money gonna pay that lawyer? But you can't say that. You know, I'm like, I don't want to be salty. I don't want to be rude. But she got really nasty. I did, and it told me to hang up. I just hang up, like, you know. I don't want to do that, but you know, because she didn't want to hear it. You know, she didn't want to hear it. But yeah. Some of them, you know, that really make me cry because there was this guy. He said, "Imagine," because even though he knew I cannot help him, but the fact that I was really nice to him, he said, "I'm the only person that have been talking to him and been nice to him for months." Wow. So he said, imagine there's a big bouquet. That he made me cry, like the bouquet in front of, because that's the first time he said somebody was nice to him.
There's a lot of uptight people out here.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are a lot of snappy uptight people out here for no reason.
Because most of them, you can't help them, but compassion goes a long way. Yeah, compassion goes a long way. Because they listen to their story, it makes you cry, man. Damn. But some of them, yesterday too. God damn. I even said, like, I think y'all playing like trick on me, and like whoever's nasty, y'all send it to me. Because I can handle it. Because I get the cussing, the threatening. Yeah, that's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. That's not what the hell you want me to do? Okay, it's not acceptable. What do you want me to do? Where's the manager? There ain't no manager. I'm the manager.
They don't want to hear that. You took the starch out of your shirt when you say that.
Mm-hmm. No, that was their mind, but it's the truth. I'm the only one you got. But it is what it is. Yep. But imagine, you're going through all that BS, and you got a wife, 2, 3 kids. You can't pay your rent. I know, right? Jeez.
I don't want to go through that. I don't.
Me too. No. I'm probably that will go depressed. Yeah, no.
I'll stay frugal and below my means and accumulate, and things can happen. Sicknesses can happen, mishaps can happen all at one time to cause these things. So even me saying, I wouldn't want to go through that, it can happen to anybody. So, you know, I extend my good thoughts and good energy to those going through stuff. But for those who may not be there, you might be a trillionaire or a billionaire or a millionaire. Don't think that it can't get you either. You know what I mean? So no matter where I stand, I always try to remember that and just try to keep things, because I'm not, that's not a good place to be, you know?
No.
And if it's a situation where you can prevent it, then it hurts more. It hurts if you can't prevent it. But if it's something where you're like, hey, I'm playing and I don't care, I'm not planning for the future, those are the folks I really don't feel all the way sorry for. But the ones who did the right thing and tried the best, I extend myself to in whichever way I can. And it's not always where you have to give someone like that money. A little meal, a little talk, just take them away from what they're feeling right now. You know,
exactly. Because I just listen, because you know they're hurting, so I listen more, even though I know I cannot help, but I listen.
Because that's the worst kind of hurt, because you know, after you escape it for a little while, those bills are still waiting. That due date is still waiting. That first of the month or middle of the month is still waiting, and it's coming up on you. And that's something that doesn't let you sleep. A toothache you can handle.
No.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, and that's what the topic we're gonna speak of today. Yeah.
Yes. You have a question at the bottom of the screen there. I just throw it at you, and then we'll proceed. Yeah. For Beatrice, is Haitian Creole the same as Lucian?
Oh, like Saint Lucian? Saint Lucian Creole? A little bit, because I had a friend that was from Saint Lucia. Yeah, a little bit. But those are closer to Martinique and Guadeloupe.
Oh.
Yeah, than ours. Yeah.
Empress Ella G.
Yeah. It's closer to Martinique. Yeah.
Yes.
But
we're going to move on into the topic when you're ready.
It's on topic, actually. It's on topic. Like a lot of places around the world, because of that, you know, since the recession, the Great Recession, for example, in India, Japan, they don't marry. They marry late because having a wife means you have to take care of her. Having kids means you need to take care of them, so they don't marry at all.
Yeah, see. Wow.
Yeah, they don't marry because you know India and China, they were very you know, like conventional, but now they rather live together than marry.
And that's a big change because they were always because of money.
Because you know they're kind of On the other side of the spectrum, you see like women like making it in Japan, and there's this new thing because Japan, you know, the birth rate is going down because men and women don't want to have sex anymore.
What?
Yeah, they rather like watch anime, read anime. Actually, women they go to a bar and pay men to be their boyfriend, or they can book a guy to be their boyfriend. There's not gonna be sex or anything. You're just sitting there and be pretty.
but that's what the women want. They pay the men for that. So what do the horny men do? They just sit there and go for that?
No, there's no touching, no nothing. You just be sitting there and be pretty. You know, like be cordial and serve them and all that, but that's it.
Well, you know, there's not that much being cordial in the whole world after a while in the midnight hour, but I don't know what they got going on in Japan. They're spraying.
I know, right? They actually have bars now. You go there and you book one of them and they just sit with you. You got like a pretty man sitting with you.
Wow.
Look at his face.
A pretty man. I don't know about all that. Wow.
Yeah, that's on the women's side. On the men's side, they're paid. That's why Japan kind of like fucks me up, man. Because the women, they go for men guys where they're reading about men fucking men. The man, you just heard right. You just heard right.
The women are reading about this? Oh, wait. I got to show my face on this.
Right.
Wait. The women read about this, but I mean, en masse, they were surveys on this?
You know, like pornographic anime where they're reading, you know, they're watching, you know, like, you know, those magazines, the anime, and they watch.
You know, I pride myself on knowing that I've been around the block a few times, and I can kind of figure some stuff out. You know, read a lot. I'm always proficient with talking to people and absorbing their point of view and trying to understand this.
Oh, they don't want to talk. That's the thing, too. That factor is gone. Like the men, they go somewhere, some men, the single men, and they pay little girls. And I mean, literally, little girls.
Yeah, that's bad.
To either sleep next to them or to dance for them or talk to them. It's nothing like sexual, but just...
I know, but that's still strange, though.
Yeah.
Why can't it be a grown woman? Well, why doesn't it be a little girl?
Yeah. Even like you watch their anime, their movies, so it's a little girl. That's some fucked up shit.
the little plaid schoolgirl outfits that are too short and the little thigh highs and little pigtails and this little girly thing.
It's inappropriate.
What's to stop them from trying to manifest this thing in real life? You know what I mean?
Actually, those countries, China, South Korea, Japan, sexual harassment is really high in those countries. Sexual battery, sexual harassment, stalking is really high.
But do they penalize you for this? You know what I mean? I mean, it might be high.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, because it's a very patriarchal society.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women get found in some alley because the police don't take them seriously. And before you know it, you find that poor girl in some alley. Well, at least they died, but like in India, India's even worse, man. Woo! India's worse. Because for example, if you are courting me and I said no, so the next day you go get a cup of acid and you throw it on my face.
Because you said no.
Yes.
Oh man. I don't care who it is. I can't sit back and watch something like that.
Yeah, the Africans started doing that shit too. Like, but it's not but it's and like in England or Britain, they started doing that in Britain. Like, what the hell? Like, for example, this is why they use acid, because they said that you can trace a gun, but you cannot trace the chemical. So they use chemical and throw it at people. Like, for example, when they do a robbery, they don't use a knife because they can, having a weapon is illegal. So they use acid. But that's fucked up. That's really fucked up.
Yeah, because just take if you're going to take something, as far as robbing somebody. But why you want to do that to them?
Yeah, because imagine this person has no water around. You throw that shit on their face. Wow. There was even this girl, she has a friend, right? But she was in love with this guy, and she was fiancée with him. And they were Congolese. And one night, somebody threw acid at her. And they really fuck up her face. Like, all her scalp fucked her up. But when they started doing investigation, after a month, they found out it was her best friend who did it.
Oh, no.
Because she was jealous. Because she had burn scars, and she also, her purse had residue of acid on it.
So it's telltale signs. She exposed herself.
She in prison for life now. Dumbass bitch. I mean, what? Who does that? Because you're jealous of your friend? You threw acid at her? Who does that? What kind of savage are you?
Extremely insecure. That's beyond insecure.
But that's a new thing, and it kind of like spread out because now Afghanistan does it, Pakistan does it. I don't know about Bangladesh, but it's this acid throwing. It's spreading. I don't know what kind of kick you find out of it.
Wow.
And that's the thing. They're not even in a relationship. They're not even talking, nothing. And they're throwing acid at your face. That's messed up. Yeah, that's because the society are highly patriarchal. And that's the thing too. They bring that shit here and in Australia and in Britain. They bring it there too. They don't. It's probably here not so much because bitch, you gotta go to prison.
Well, people are gonna think they're gonna get away with it. I mean, it's something that's a lot easier than shooting somebody, and maybe they think that
Yeah, like for example, there was this girl who married this guy, but this girl her family was doing, because in India, the woman's family has to give a dowry to the men. Like, I mean, in white folks, it was the way around. But for Chinese and Indian, it's the woman's family who has to give the dowry.
Right.
So her family didn't give enough. And the husband used that as an excuse to beat the shit out of her every day. She called the police several times. The police never interfered. That happened in Australia. So, and at one point, the last day, he burned her alive. She set her ablaze. Yeah, right in the parking lot. She, after beating the shit out of her, yeah, doused her with gasoline and set her ablaze.
That's something wrong, really. That way on a spiritual level, there's something wrong.
No, it's spiritual. It makes you think like, you know, probably you don't see how a human being. And obviously, you have a different perception of what human is. That's fucked up.
Yeah, but then they're a piece of property or something. But even a piece of property don't do that. You know, I'm just saying, like, what kind of emotion are you feeling to go and do that when a person was innocent and didn't do anything to warrant that? What? How do you go from 0 to 100 in like?
I know. No, 0 to 1,000. 0 to 1,000. Exactly, man. Damn.
Beyond the 1,000. You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? Okay, okay, if you can do that, if you're disgruntled, what is it that you're feeling when you're with this person and everything is all right? Supposedly everything is all right. Like
that's a very good question.
Yeah, if you refuse me, I'm going to do this or do that. So it's not really a relationship. It's not really a mutual thing. It's just like
that's true.
And do these women agree to? I'm not saying agree to let that happen. But do they agree?
Well, you know, you get battered women here too. Even though
it must be red flag.
Yeah, I know, right? You get battered women here too in America. It's not that they're with it, because it doesn't start like that. It starts with the verbal abuse and the manipulating.
With the acid and out of nowhere, that kind of thing, right? We know there's red flags and stuff, but there it's like death. One slip, and not even the woman did anything. One slip of them. In their twisted mind, they just do this to you, like the abuse in America, right? That's really bad. But that kind of thing where you just go and then what do you get away with it?
Yeah, from 0 to 1,000. No. He in prison for life. Yeah. That happened in Australia. He in prison for life. Yeah.
Right, but
you ain't getting out of prison.
What I'm saying is that what was the relationship like on both sides when they thought, okay, things are going good now, to just go and just turn like that? Because there had to be something when things are going good, but you're noticing this kind of somebody who does that ain't right in the head. Even if you're mad at somebody that you claim to love your relationship with,
that's really messed up.
This acid, and I'm gonna beat them up, put acid on them, and kill them. Like
that's some fucked up shit, man.
Take a walk if you're mad, argue if you're mad, or whatever. But you know, so you got the acid waiting. This is premeditated. It's not like you got mad and
they were not poor. They're very like middle class, and he did something like that.
And over there, middle class is like upper class in a way. It's a little, you know, the scale of things.
But he had a big house in Australia.
And who'd want to lose all of that? Who would want to put all that in jeopardy to do something stupid? Just break up the relationship.
Because that dumbass motherfucker thought he was in India, he would get away with it. Nah.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
You're in the land of white folks. You're gonna go to prison. Yeah, I gotta say it like that because they're murdering us left and right. So we're in the land of white folks.
We will yank your white privilege card.
Yeah. But then again, there's a thing too about relationship. Like close to 1900, like the end of 1800, there was scandal like that in Ireland. This man thought his wife was a fairy. There were like 5 people in the house. All of them stood there and watched their husband beat the shit out of her until like she almost dead, and then he set her ablaze. Imagine they're white folks and they're doing that.
And they sat there and watched.
Yeah, they all stood there and watched. Oh, the men's when that happened, it's like 1890. It's almost at 1900. Oh, they put him in prison. He's in prison for life. But you know, the whole Britain was, you know, like shocked, like whoa, what the hell, you know? Because it was like almost 1900. You know where that behavior comes from? You think that she thought. Yeah, because he thought that fairy replaced his wife, and now she's a changeling. Changeling? whatever, but it's still stupid.
Yeah.
It's still stupid. Stupid. But the thing is, until because remember, women did not have rights. We didn't even have the right of suffrage. We couldn't even like vote. When women started having rights, like in Britain, it's because of the suffragette, and the suffragette, they were gangsters. Yeah, because they were doing like, because first they would just protest peacefully, but then they would get sexually assaulted and beat by the police. So they turned gangster.
Oh man.
Yeah, they started doing terrorist act, but it was one last thing a girl did, and it kind of turned it just turned history, and they said, nah, man, give them their rights to vote. Because they were, you know, the at the time the king likes to witness the derby, the horse races, and she picked that day when the king was going to be present. And as the horses are racing, she jumped between the horses and she died because she got trampled by a whole bunch of horses. But the world was so much in shock by what she did. A few months later, yeah, they allow women to vote. But damn, that's extreme, man. She was willing to die. That's the thing. Yeah, she was gangster. But that's the thing. Because even in the Constitution, it said that women were not people. You were the property of your husband. That's why until the beginning of like 1900, women usually, that's why there was arranged marriages, because you were not really a person, you were a property. That's why as soon as your husband died, you married with another one for another alliance. You were there for alliances. That's why as soon as you marry, there's a lot of pressure for you to breed babies, a male baby, to assure the kingdom. Or I don't know,
so you keep on popping them out.
I know, right? The earlship or the marquis, whatever. Yeah, just pop them babies, whatever. But I think it's all of that got kind of like accumulated. Now you see like young, even here, that they say that mostly in white folks. Because they did a statistic, because I found it too. White folks breed baby 1.5 times. They breed babies. Asians too, 1.5 times. Black people, two babies per household. Latinos, 3 babies per household. So I see why Fox News is going crazy and saying we're about to replace them. You're damn right. We're about to replace your dumb asses. Yes, we are.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they don't want to, I mean, they'll have babies, but with black folks. Because there's a lot of mixed couples now. But, no. Yeah. Yeah,
that's
but
something to think about.
Yeah, it's something to think about. That's true. It has something to do with the economy too. Like, you know, for example, me, I already owe $60,000 of student loan, and I got 4 more years to go.
Oh man.
I got 4 more years to go, man.
Well, the system's going to collapse, and you're not going to have to pay it back.
I hope so. Shit.
I'm claiming that. I'm putting it out there.
I hope so, because I just need my doctor, then go wherever I want. Shit, I go to South America. I ain't paying none of that money. Get out of my face. Yeah, I mean, nobody want to live like that, being indebted to your eyeballs. And now you got so much debt that you can't even buy a house. Because that's what happened. That's why people are not marrying or not having babies, especially white folks, because, you know, your credit's all fucked up. You cannot rent a house. You cannot buy a house. But right now, we're trying to get another apartment. And, you know, it's hard for me and George because our credit's fucked up because we owe a lot of student loan. But they don't want to hear that. I mean, that made no damn sense. You mean, you know, in this time of the pandemic, you know people cannot find jobs. You know people are going to have their credit fucked up. And you expect people to have 800 as a score for their credit score? Like, What the fuck? But you know what that means when they say that. You know what they mean exactly. I mean they don't want a certain color people in their building. That's what it means.
Well, you know, things are so bad. Things are so bad now. Most people are weighing more than their credit score. They weigh more than their credit score. They say, hey, how much do you weigh? I'm 220 pounds, but my credit score is 150. Even though it doesn't do that low.
Exactly. Jeez. Yeah, exactly. But it's just find that phenomenon around the world where like China even is cute. So you know, I read the last time we spoke, I told you that the population, the female population is 30% lesser in China and in India. So in India, yeah, I told you they pass over their wife. I mean, depends on whatever. I guess in the countries, the city they set them ablaze and throw them off the balcony. It depends.
Okay. Yeah,
Not all of them are like that, but you know the fact that one or two of y'all doing that, I gotta give you the side eye. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. You know, and the fact that you know in the countries you find women being having a train running over them of the uncle, father, brother, cousin. That's fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. Could you imagine the trauma, the emotional scars they're going to carry for the rest of their life?
That's fucked up.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, man. I mean, even Africa got better. Because I remember I used to read the articles, Amina from Haiti, and they said certain countries where if the husband died, I don't know if it's still like that, they take everything you got. Everything. They leave you with nothing.
What country is that?
I don't remember, but I remember just somewhere like that. Like they take everything you got. That's fucked up. That's why, like in you know, in the days, if you're a Muslim, they marry you to the brother or the next male, because it's either you marry the next male or they take all your shit.
Man, so you got to live life knowing this is gonna happen if something happens to your husband. Like you just know that okay, this is the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, I know, right? That's messed up.
Yeah,
that's messed up. Yeah. Yeah, I know, even though it's better, but still, no, we still have a long way to go because there's still some countries that still practice this FGM. I mean, like mostly like Yemen or in Africa. It depends. It's not really Nigeria. It's mostly like above the Saharan country that they practice that still.
They say K, how do you pronounce her name at the bottom of the screen? So there's Congo where that happens. You see on the screen?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Congo, really? Wow. Okay. Wow. That's messed up. Wow.
But then when you imagine all the things that are going on all over the world, how big the world is, and
exactly, because you would think Congo, even though there's a lot of political turmoil, they're a little more advanced than that. Oh well.
It can't be everywhere. I mean, it can't be
exactly. Yeah.
Little areas, because you know things go on, just like even in places where you just wouldn't think, but it's tucked away here and there. Pretty much everything goes on everywhere. It's just a matter of being able to find it out. Like when you look at pedophilia, it's everywhere. You know, so it's not relegated to any one place.
It's just that everywhere. Yeah.
It gets kind of known for certain things, but it's everywhere. You know. And these things are big time. And the abuse of wives and women and stuff is still going on. It's still big time, but it's more hush hush. You know, could you imagine a woman who depends on a man who makes money and she's scared because she hasn't done anything or wasn't able or allowed to do anything to be independent and, you know, got kind of complacent. And this man starts at a little bit at a time and she doesn't want to leave. She has kids from him. And, you know, it's got to be rough, you know, because people from the outside say, well, you know what? Don't take that. You don't have to take that. You need to get up and go. But it's not so easy to go. Where are they going to get
especially if they've been used to the verbal abuse or the manipulation. Because I knew a man that was being beaten by his wife.
It happens too.
He would show up in the bus with half his face is this big and lumping. I'm like, imagine you're a man and you can walk right and your face is.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it just me. I was more concerned that one day he might die. You know.
Right. It happens, and then men are going to be embarrassed to say anything. Because
and he was Haitian. I had to say something because I told his sister-in-law. He got mad at me because I said something, and the sister-in-law she got so alarmed. She told his brother, and he got mad. He doesn't want to talk to me anymore. But it was kind of fucked up, man, because we knew she was beating the shit out of him. But he just one day you show up, half your face is this swollen, and you can't even walk around. I'm like, fuck this, man. I gotta say something. Nah.
There's no reason to do that.
Exactly.
In her mind, did she have a reason to do this? You know what I mean?
Actually, she tapes it.
What?
She tapes it. Hell yeah. She used the little shovel, like when you used to plant, and she beats him with it and have his own. She has her own child taping herself beating the shit out of him.
So
that's how they dropped the charge, because she went to say he was raping her, he was beating her, until the child who felt bad for him showed the video, and they had to drop the charges.
No, I was scared. I was gonna say, how far is this gonna go? Is the little kid to my
exactly? What? That's why I had to say something. She was raping him too.
No, wait. She was wait. She was raping him. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Like he would be sleeping, and she would start grabbing his mid part and beating.
Well, you're beating it the wrong way. That's gonna. I mean, like she's raping me and beating me.
I mean, it's not hard. Funny.
She's raping
me. But that's rape. That's sexual battery. That's rape.
No, I know, but how do you get erect? How do you hold an erection when you're getting beat? Like, I mean, you're getting hurt.
That's the thing. He was erect, but he was sleeping. He was sleeping naked, and he just beat the shit out of him. Like, what the fuck?
Adam's Family theme creepy and
for real, man. What the fuck? Yeah, but this exists too. When men are beating the shit, women are beating the shit out of their men, man. That's abusive. Nah, that's wrong, man. Either way, it's
erect and goes and says, "You're beating me. Stop it. You're beating me. Stop it." You know what I mean? Stop it.
Yeah, because the video, he's crying. Because there's a thing too. Because he doesn't want to leave, because if he leaves, he may lose his chance to get a green card. That's the problem. And we kept telling him, in immigration law, if you're a victim of domestic abuse, they will give you that green card because you're a victim of abuse. We keep telling, but he has to report her. He didn't want to report her. I'm in love. Like, get the fuck out of my
He's in love. No,
yeah.
He's agreeing to some story that meets the eye. He kind of likes that.
Because that was his first love, his first everything. Yeah, because we were like, oh, she know what she was doing. Because she's like, because she was already had children. She was 10 years older. So he didn't know, he never been with a woman in his life. So she promised him everything, brought him here. And as soon as he came here, the beating started.
I'm not laughing, but it's just like bizarre.
But yeah, I know, it's sad. It's sad.
Sad, yeah.
Because there's a little bit of human trafficking. Because she was making him work really hard and bring all his money to her, making him do chores in the house. She ain't doing shit.
So was she like a dominatrix, and he liked that kind of thing? Because you have people out there that like that.
No, maybe.
I
don't know, but he had scars. He had scars everywhere.
But I'm quite sure there's some submissive men out here that were like, Beatrice, please tell me who it is. I'll service her. I'll serve her. She can beat me. I love being beat.
Oh, you don't need to go. I'll do it. I enjoy that. Yeah, I enjoy that. I'll do it.
but I think you mentioned you had those kind of experiences before, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but that's the thing. You cannot just put your hand on people. They have to allow you. They have to say, "I want it."
you
If
got
they
to
didn't
talk
say,
about.
"I want it," you can't do that. That's how it works. Because if they tell you no, you have to stop. You don't stop. That's battery.
Right, 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 right. But still,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this comment section on this one might have a lot of email addresses. Beatrice, Noel, I'd like for you to contact me, please.
Yeah, I got my whip. I got my ropes. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I got my pat. But usually I like my hands. It stings more. Yeah, it stings. Especially if you had lotion on the hand and a little humid, it stings
Oh man,
more. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm quite sure they want to sample that.
But this is what is funny is when, like, you're on the dating side and them white dudes are like, "Oh, can I spank you?" I'm like, dude, I'm black. You're white. You're asking to be my dominator, my master? What the fuck?
Tell them.
I mean, what the fuck? Nah, man. Just shit, I don't even want a black master. What? I want a white master. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with you? Every time they say that, I'm like, where I come from, we kill all them white masters. So why would I come here and get another? What the fuck?
This is Melanin. Welcome. There's a laugh again.
Yeah, the sadistic laugh. But yeah, man.
Something. There'll be some emails in the comment section, and by the time we do our next show, your school debt will be finished and paid.
No, I get them sometimes. My leg will swell and they're like, "Oh, can I suck on your toes?" I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, did you see how my legs look like? I don't know about that. I mean, I do clean my feet. I do my pedicure, but I don't know about that. Yeah.
Big shout out to Mrs. Melanin. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
For the show, my dear.
But I think I don't know, maybe it's because of the internet and because of more technology, but around the world we see that except in African and Latino communities, there's less babies. Like, for example, Switzerland, the population, it happened. It's less than what it used to be because men and women are not fucking anymore. Worse, there's like overwhelming population of an LGBT community and not instead of straight couples. So that's why the population got reduced to half. And now there's like more like mixed couples and African over there. Which is okay. It's okay for us. You don't want your women, don't want your men, fine. More for them. It's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but Japan, everybody like scratching their head. Like, it's not because they're gay. No. They just didn't want to have sex. Period. Okay.
There's something a bit odd about that.
Yeah. Well, there's that thing too, because their suicidal rate is really high too in Korea too. Yeah, there's that too. I think it's.
Yeah. Keep talking, sweetheart. Let me make a quick run real quick for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. I think it's because the fact society put too much pressure on them, and the same way the youngsters, they put too much pressure on themselves. Because in Japan, there's this phenomenon. We see it here, but it's very, very exceptional. I forgot how they call it. Somebody who never leave their house because they're so ashamed that they had not succeed with life that they just, for years, they never leave their house. They never go find a job. Nothing. They never leave their bedroom. Never leave the bedroom. I think it's like an avoidance personality disorder, but that's even worse. You don't even leave your bedroom. You don't talk to anybody at all. Because they can stay like 30, 40 years. They never leave their bedroom. I don't know how they call them. I forgot. But I think it's in Japan too. Uh Korean, mostly Japan. Like when senior citizens get to an age, they think they're not useful anymore to society, they just kill themselves. Probably that's where we get to that point where now, I guess this is probably some escape from those tradition, and they're just men don't want to be with women anymore. There's no part of it anymore. Cause Japan is very, very patriarchal. Even though how advanced they are, they're still very patriarchal. So it's so patriarchal that I don't understand why they still entertain this fantasy of having sex with young girls. It's weird, man. It's fucked up. But yeah, obviously that's a patriarchal. Even China too. China, there's a lot of pressure from women to marry. A lot of pressure. It's so true. Like when you get to a certain age, you get to like 25, you're not married, they call you a leftover woman because nobody will want to marry with you. You're too old. And there's a lot of, even though the women succeed financially, educationally, they made their place in society. It doesn't matter. They look down on you because you got no wife, you got no husband, you got no kids. I don't know. That's a different culture. But then again, I'm from Haiti too. Haiti has a lot of contrast because on one spectrum in Haiti, you will find a lot of single mothers with raising their children by themselves. My mom was one of them because my father died when I wasn't even 12, so she rose up all by herself. Me and my two brothers. So, but she never remarried. She had a boyfriend for a little while, but it never like got to the point. Nah, because I couldn't stand his ass. He was a beater. But he didn't put his in my mom. But yeah, you find that's the thing. Because either like the father died early, because remember in the 1980s, 1990s, we had AIDS. And that pretty much tore Haiti apart too. And that's the thing too. And a lot of family, when that happened, they get ostracized. Mine was because my father died of AIDS. So nobody wanted anything to do with us because they thought they could cut the disease from us. So we were ostracized. So my mom found herself with no job, no money, because my father left nothing. She left us nothing because he didn't want my mom to take care of another man with the money. So he left my mom with 3 kids, nothing but debts. For those bitches who were saying that I'm privileged, I didn't grow up privileged at all. At all. Actually, we had to live with my grandfather. And my grandfather was a very frugal man. And the thing is, he was kind of living off my mom. Okay, like, because my mom had they had a big house. It was a big house where we used to live. Because my father didn't live. Woo! He lived large. Because the house had like 13 bedroom, and everybody got their own bedroom. But then the next day you find yourself flat broke with absolutely nothing but debt. Because we had lands, we lost all of them. All of them. So basically, when we left Haiti, we left everything. We had nothing. I mean, we had degrees and we had our savings, and I mean.
Yeah, but that's still.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of rips at your soul in a way because even your rhythms, the things you're used to, everything is thrown off You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't imagine. I really couldn't imagine that, though. I mean,
So you find a lot of family like that. Yeah, you find a lot. You find a lot of beaters too, and that's the thing too. When you beat on a woman like that, the next person that's gonna be the target is the children. Even if you're not the one, she gonna start beating on them too. Because I knew, because my mom, she used to have us take private lessons so we can catch up with school. So there was one of them teachers, man. She freaks me out. Because everybody would tease her child, but I couldn't. The way I would see her beating on her, I couldn't. Even though I was a child again, I didn't say anything. Because she used to
right.
like the girl, she would turn red and start shaking because she knows she's about to get a beating, and the other kids would laugh. That's not funny.
That is so bad. That is so traumatic.
That's
You know,
not funny.
and she knew it was going to happen, and it was happening, and the kids are laughing. That
Yeah,
that
that's
is,
not.
is
And
really
you
not
do that to her, and they will never get out of it. The next man that they go to, they will tolerate that from him too. That's fucked up. It's just a cycle that will never end. Wow. No. Because me, even as a child, I didn't tolerate people bullying me. Nah, I'll fight the shit. Nah, I'll fight. Because my mom, once she put me with one teacher, and I remember I was 5. And she would bully me every fucking day, man. I never said shit. One day I'm like, fuck you. I'm not going anywhere with you. And I'm
right.
like, no, you better watch your mouth when you talk to me. I'm not going anywhere with you. And I was just 5. And she had to straighten up and not talk to me like that. And that has nothing to do with how my mom raised me. That's how I was. I didn't like that. And even like if I was younger, my mom would spank me for one thing, I don't do it anymore. Because I don't want people to put hair on me. I would not do it anymore.
Right.
So that's why my mom didn't understand. Like, George, you could beat him over and over. He still does it. Try with something else, but now, he just straightened up. He was something else. But me, you yell at me once. You beat me once, that's it. I'm good. I don't do it again. So, yeah. But you find a lot of family like that in Haiti. Like, a lot of single parent, but the single parent is the wife, and sometimes the wife is left with nothing to feed their children. My mom used to help a lot of those single women, a lot. Like, where we used to live in Delma, and a lot of those women, she would invite their kids in our house, and we would feed them every weekend. Yep. Even when we used to live in the mountain, when my mom said got a job, and we would help out those kids. But that was me, because she would yell at me like, "Why you keep bringing them kids in the house? Like, always gonna take care of all." Because that's my personality. Like, I see I have enough, so I give
Right.
some of it. Yeah. But
But that's what
yeah.
it's me.
But there's that thing too. It's because of the fact you raised that way, and with a single parent, so you don't really depend on having a husband, because you observe your mom doing everything by herself. So you're like,
Right. That's right.
what's the
Understood.
point? Yeah. So in a sense, if you want to be with a man, it's because you want a partner in your life. But it's not like that's the thing. That's why in the 1970s they were concerned that there was so many divorce. That's why in the 70s, because it's this delusion where you raised women to be like Cinderella or Snow White and wait for that Prince Charming, and you raise man to be like G.I. Joe, be the strong man. That it don't
Exactly.
mean nothing. Because I pretty much grew up when no father in the house. Because I was still 11 when he died. And I had to watch my youngest brother, and I had to grow up fast. Because now, when I turned 14, I noticed, because in Haiti you can afford a maid, and them bitches was still stuff in the house. So now I gotta watch my brother and watch the maze.
It took the adolescence. It took a lot of the
Yeah,
adolescence.
it did. And now, like I didn't have enough responsibility, my aunt moved to Haiti and she would dump her kids on me too. Like, what the fuck? And I have homework. I have to help my youngest brother, and I gotta watch 2 more kids. That used to piss me off. That used to piss me off. And especially the fact that she's a that's the thing, she's very manipulative, very like always lying. She has what they call it, she's a mythomania. I mean, she has a lying disorder. She lies nonstop. Is
Yeah,
that
people like
because she's narcissistic? Yeah,
lie. No reason to lie to get them out of her.
exactly.
They lie to lie.
Because no, it's like psychopaths or narcissism. No, not her. She just lie none fucking stop. Like you never
Like
know what's the truth. Imagine what that does to your children. To always watching you lie all the fucking time.
could imagine.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, it affects the children. Because in a sense, this is what she taught her children. Not like to take advantage of people all the time, but when you're teaching a child to only take advantage of people and you don't teach him like resources, how to find a job, how to keep your shit together, what do you think gonna happen? Because now the oldest one has a law degree, but he still lives with her. The second one works at Publix. Where's the job? It's a CASHAPP Publix or whatever. But the third one, he's still young.
Yeah.
But still, because that's how she always does that, cheating at her job, cheating people, lying to people to get what she wants. But that's the thing. You're a chick. You always have a man taking care of you. It's not the same when you're a man. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because now what happened is my cousin was like 30 and it's his girlfriend that was taking care of him. So the day they got married, that's more than the wedding did not even last 6 months. She didn't even have the courage to tell us. We found out from my youngest brother who lives in Orlando. Because the courage, because it was a big wedding. Because I knew something was off. Because what kind of woman, for your vows, you telling in front of everybody you were fighting demons? I'm like, what the fuck? I know what that means, but who does that? You found me with my demons. I'm still fighting my demons. I'm like, what the fuck? Because when they told me that, I knew that was happening. She was fighting demons. What the fuck do you expect? There's more stuff that will never come out of my mouth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because words have power. Stuff like that will never come out of my mouth.
I'm learning that more and more each day.
Yeah, words have power. But that's the thing, man. He was the one crying the whole wedding. I'm like, what the fuck? But then because he cried, she cried, and now everybody cried. I'm like, what? And then I'm the only one. I'm in the back, like, what the fuck? Like, what? And that didn't even last 6 months. I'm not talking shit about him. It's just, I think my aunt, she fucked up their life. It just
how you
raise. Yeah, I mean, all that lying and manipulation, that's all you're teaching your kids.
Yeah.
At least teach them skills, to be independent, to be, street smart. Because that's not street smart. That's stupid. Because me, exactly. Because me, I'm not, even though I'm getting a degree, I was already street smart.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. I think my George told my youngest that too. That he's like, even though she got no degree, she can get a manager job because she's street smart. You damn right. Yeah.
That's the best combination.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can drop me in the middle of the jungle. I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna walk around and eat bugs like Andrew Zimmer. That's some weird shit, man. Yeah, because they taught him how to fish. He couldn't survive 12 hours. Me, I was like, teach me again until I get it. Now I get it, yeah, I'll know what to do. I'll hustle something. I ain't gonna walk around eat roaches and nasty stuff. That's gross. Nah, man.
No way.
Yeah, because that's a white folks' fantasy that one day we'll be eating worm burgers.
Oh, hell no. No. Not me. Unless I ate a worm by mistake. No way. I'm not willingly going to.
Oh, they actually did the movie, the icebreaker where the rich are making the poor eating roach jelly.
We're going to have a big problem happen.
Yeah, I watched that shit once and I never could watch it again just because of that. That's some fucked up, disgusting shit. Now they will make them eat roach jelly, they will make them eat each other to survive.
Cannibalism.
Yeah. That's how much the rich folks don't care about the poor folks. No, think about it. Yeah, because that's kind of situation right now in India. I mean, they're not eating each other, but with the coronavirus, that they not only you cannot find a hospital bed, so they go buy oxygen. But now you bought the oxygen, and you find robbers in the streets stealing the oxygen from you. Meanwhile, your mom or your daddy is dying.
Well, that's jacked up.
Okay, so now all that stolen oxygen is being sold in the black market. Yeah, that is jacked up because it was what my mom was. What I didn't see it, but she said the guy is wailing because his mom is dying, and he just took his oxygen from him.
Then he's gonna probably buy it back on the black market.
I know, right? This is where it's even more fucked up. Every day there's pyres of thousands of people burning, their cadavers. Because the Hindus, they burn the cadavers. My question is, where you find them trees? Because you're 1.2 billion people. 1.3 billion.
Right.
Where you find the trees? Because they say there'll be close to 1 million dying by the end of the year. You got 1 million trees to burn all these people?
And I saw a video of that too last night.
What's wrong with the crematory? Because that's what the Chinese did. Yeah, they lost at least 1 million people, but they're hiding it, Because me, when that started, every day I'm on Twitter. That's sitting that see what's going every day. Because that's how we were prepared. Because
right.
My brother thought that was crazy, but every day I was watching what's going on Twitter. That's the only way you would know what's going on in China. There was this guy, there was this Republican guy.
They just think they're using foolishness. They don't understand how powerful it is and how you can go past the boundaries of what the American media will put out there. You can go past it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you off the record, offline, how I even go past it even more. I'll tell you that when I'm off.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, I agree with you because I don't watch news from here. The channel who watches like Fox News because it's really investigative because for example, they have this episode for free on YouTube. It's called Monogamy is a Myth because they were showing scientifically how men and women were not made to be married. Whatever. So, because he was saying, for example, like in the time, like the Neanderthal man or the first Homo sapien, they would not marry. Yeah, you would exchange wife and husband, like, on men and women, like whatever, hump each other, whatever. Because when we finally get to the point where we're having arranged marriage, that's like late, like probably in the time of the Jews, like we start arranging weddings. And then, because he said, even like, for example, the monkeys, they're not faithful. And he said, that's how you know the more promiscuous a monkey is. The bigger the balls of the male, the more you know those monkeys are promiscuous. Yeah.
You can't.
Because the monkeys with the biggest balls are the bonobo chimpanzees, and they're huge. But yeah, they fuck all day. They're stressed, they fuck. They're happy, they fuck. They eat, they fuck. Actually, they're eating and fucking. Yeah, they show that. And actually, like, there's a tribe in I know, right? Damn. I mean, doesn't it hurt to keep fucking like that? Goddamn. No masochists and stuff. But yeah, jeez. There's certain days you can't do that, man. I'm like, God damn, man. It's exhausting. But yeah. Yeah, but so the bonobos, right? But he said also, like, in the Amazon, there's a tribe too where for example, if a woman has a baby, so they don't assign a father. Everybody's their father. So because everybody fucks everybody. So they don't. There's not a specific husband and a specific wife. So if the woman has a baby, all the fathers will take care of it, the baby, or all the men will take care of the baby.
Right. So basically, it's a group crotch sauce cooperative.
Yeah, in a sense. They started doing that in Africa too, but it was this white dude. It's this white dude who started the sect. I forgot his name, but he has a sect that because he's more. How come sects are always doing good in Africa, man? But he's a French guy, and yeah, he came up with that bullshit where you're allowed to have several partners if you want, and like when you go to, I don't remember, was it Mali or Cameroon? Because I know they spoke French. I'm not sure if it was Mali or Cameroon. But like they would have, like, if you have like a purple band, like a thread, purple thread means you don't belong to anybody. You fuck everything. You have like a red, red means like you have one, red means you're gay, something like that. And there was another one that means you're straight and you're not promiscuous. Oh yeah, you thought it was only men and women? Oh no, it means you fucked everything.
Oh no.
Oh hell yeah! In Africa, they have this going on. Yeah, I was shocked. Like, whoa. Yeah, I'm like, isn't it Mali? Because I'm surprised. Or was it Senegal? Because even Senegal, they're partially Muslim. I mean, why would you? They're partially Muslim. Why would they tolerate that? I don't know. Whatever.
Religion and what they call societal norms. It's usually like a whole different story behind closed doors when it comes to sexuality. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it never matches up with the facade. The facade is usually a mask that's diametrically opposed to the reality behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I'm not mad at anybody for what they do as long as they're consenting adults, but why do they feel they have to lie? And I find that societies and cultures that are more repressive and have these very strict rules, somewhere along the line, it's like a pressure cooker. They're getting busy more in a crazier way. You know what I mean?
Like you said, in a crazy way.
And the nuns are having sex with the priests and stuff like that. But in front, and they get into it deeper, like in denial, like I'm going to walk even straighter. Well, it's easy to say you're going to walk straight after you had a good orgasm. Like, I got that off. I can be real strict with myself until I get horny again. So go figure. Why not be real and just be who you are? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Be who you want to be.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Yep.
So let me ask you: monogamy, open relationships, arrangements, double lives. What will work? What's the thing that's going to work in today's world? It seems like nothing is working. Marriage doesn't seem to work for the
Well,
most
me, I see the
part.
word like a marriage. Not, I mean, if it's about like how I live with my brother and my mother, like you're so used to each other that you just whatever. See, that's how I see like the wedding would be for me. Like it's like it's your. I mean, it's not your brother or your sister, but it's just so used to them. It's just you're so close to each other that it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just it's
Right.
the fact that you're inseparable now. But to me, that's the thing too. If you cannot be that tight with your husband, your wife, then why the hell are you in that relationship? Like
There you go.
because you have to be to that point where you're really, really comfortable with this person that you really see yourself living for years with them. Because I think that's the thing too. They don't think about that. Like
Yeah,
the first
true.
thing you got to make, go through your mind is you have to wake up and see the exact same face next to you every fucking morning. Are you ready for that?
No,
Okay.
so I think you have to have more than just that. It's like if you're focused in on each other like that, you got to have some common goals. You have to have things that you both get excited about, even if that
Yeah,
person.
not the goals only, but you got to get
No?
used to it because you'll be with this person. Like
Right.
because even if you have the same goal, but you might not, you cannot stand each other either. Because I
Yeah,
think you gotta get to that comfortable point with this
yeah,
person.
it all depends when you got together too, because there's some people who are not ready. There's some people who are, some relationships that started too early before they were both emotionally mature. Like it could have got along better if they just ran into each other 10 years from now. And
Yeah.
some person might be ready, another one might not be, and then
Yeah, you're right. Like I think that people get married too
timing.
young too. Like way
Yeah,
too, and when they're that young, it's not gonna last that long. It's rare that it lasts that long. It might not, it ain't gonna last that long. Because
especially
you get
social
in too
media.
naive with
Mhm.
preconception that you know. Yeah. Because when I used to work at the Coast Guard, man, I witnessed marriage like the same year and they break up already. I'm like, already? Wow. Okay. Because they were too young. They're like 18, 19, 21. You're too young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too young.
Yeah, yeah, way too young. Because there was one, that girl was a trip and she didn't understand why her man was angry. Because before you were with this man, you fucked everything that moved on the base. And I mean
Uh-oh.
everything. Men, women, everything. So now you say you want to date this guy, and everybody that you work in, because they were in the galley, everybody know who you've been fucking, and they're all Hispanic. What do you expect gonna happen?
They're gonna start talking. Been talking.
So now every day they would fight because the Hispanics are talking. But that's the thing. She was still, even if she wasn't cheating, she would flirt with. I mean, what's wrong with you, man? It didn't last.
That's
It's
a
not
recipe
gonna
for
last.
disaster. That's
You
a big.
know.
I mean, why did she do it? Like maybe the marriage with him or being with him was just like a break. Maybe she was tired.
Well, there's that thing too. Like for me, like African do that too. Haitian do that. When they see me with my age, and they're like, "You still not married? You got kids?" Every time I'm like, "That's not a fucking accomplishment, man. You don't ask me if I have a degree, if I what I accomplished in my life. You have a husband, you got kids. Yeah, it's cool, but it's not an accomplishment. It's not like, the way you say it, it's like I have a house, I have a chateau. That's how it sounds to me. It's not. It's not like you really love this person. You really feel that you can spend your rest of your life with this person. No, you got a husband, you got a kid. Yeah, African do that, Haitian do that, and every time it gets my nerve. I'm like, it's not an accomplishment, man.
But then you see, then too, what about the people who they leapfrog from one relationship to the next? I mean, like their whole life, they just go from one to the next, and that wasn't the story of my life all the way. But I have been in relationships more or less in some arrangements, and you kind of
because
like,
that's the thing too. Because you're pressured. You pressure your program to do that. Because for example, when I used to work on the base, and I used to get my last fucking nerve. Because I like to do my makeup. I like to do my face. I like to look nice and smell nice every day. You trying to get a man? No, bitch. I like to look good. I like to do expensive stuff. I like to look good.
That's the way they think. So they're trying to figure you out.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that. Because them is to try to get them. No, I don't care about shit. Yeah, no. I just like to look good and smell good. That's not. I just like that. It has nothing to do with getting them. Anyway, I think it's appropriate to, date where you work. I don't shit where I eat. It always brings trouble. Always.
Of course.
Yeah, nah. I don't shit where I eat. Because, for example, there was one couple. The guy was cheating right on base, even though he married her. And everybody know who he was fucking. And he knows he could get court-martialed for fucking people on the base while your wife is on the base.
Thrill. That was part of the thrill.
That's fucked up. They're too young. Yeah, you're too young. No, there was a lot of scandal in that base, man. That was fucked up. There were crackheads, cocaine addicts. They had the ladies' dormitory. It was the lesbian dormitory. It's God. Okay, but damn, you cannot tell me you send women to a dormitory and then it became lesbian dormitory. What the fuck? Like,
They had a women's facility in the jail that I worked in, and it was called Wickham. But it was so many lesbians in there, and I coined the frame. I coined the phrase, right? Instead of calling it Wickham, I started calling it Lickum, and it took off.
Wow.
I would never work there because at nighttime you see the fiberglass and stuff, and when you're a man, they want to put on a show, they're going to expose themselves and stuff. And I never really worked there. I went overtime there once or twice. And I was always scared of them trying to accuse me of some kind of, bad behavior, inappropriate behavior. And I'm like, I go in there with a cap, pull it down. And if I had to see some eyes, I'd look up a little, see somebody, I'd keep my head down. I'm reading something. Of course, when you're there, you can't be a male officer with the females by yourself. But I didn't want anybody in there to say, "Officer, look," and pulling his shirt up or opening their legs. And two of them.
Hell no, man.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, they're accused of sexual harassment now, even though they don't want to see that bullshit. Yeah, that's the thing I don't agree with women here. Like, you said, okay, how can you walk me? Okay, it's your right, but you do know that men will start thinking when you start exposing all that stuff. You do know that, right? A man thinks about, this is not men and women. It depends on the age. They think just as much about sex. And now they find out that women cheat as much as men now. It's not just men. The wives changed. It's both of them. But, it's just, okay, let's see. For example, men and women are watching you, exposing your butt, your breasts and everything. And, I don't say, I'm not saying that you were looking for that raping, but I don't mean it, but just,
no, you know the attention it's going to bring. And,
exactly.
If anybody to put their hand on anybody or disrespect anybody, and it's just like even now we had to thank you, Empress Ella G, for getting this knucklehead out of the chat room, because we don't disrespect people up in here like that. But if you're exposing yourself, you know the kind of attention that you can get. And the bottom line is, you know, while most men may look and some men may say some things or whatever, you may get that.
You know, I'm not blaming the victim at all, but
that will do something.
Man.
That will receive it the wrong way. This is
There's
a crazy
no reason for you to walk naked to begin with. You ain't no stripper. What the fuck? You're not a hoe. Cover yourself up.
Right. I see a lot of that. Even out here in Ghana, there's a lot, you know.
Yeah, because of the Western influence. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's right. Mm-hmm.
There's the Western influence. They want to look. They're emulating, and you're emulating the wrong thing. I mean, like in South Africa. Is it South Africa? Yeah, you know, the tribe, like they send their daughters to boot camp. It's the privilege to send their daughter to boot camp, man. In the boot camp, you have to stay topless and wear like the African, you know, the traditional clothes, the traditional necklace and traditional skirt, and you know, but.
Right. I mean, you know, and that's part of the culture, but you know, parts here, like way.
But the thing is that there's no men. They're women. The teachers are women. Yeah.
Right. No, but I've been parts out here driving way out in the country, and you know, I mean, not just like, oh, let's drive for 2 hours, but 5 and 6 and 7, 8 hours way off, right? And you kind of, you know, you go to the back of the car if you're renting one or something like that. You're doing something, and you're looking, and you're like, oh, wait a second. You know, you see breasts and it's just walking. It's an adjustment, right? And so, and then like 3 or 4 of them will walk past, and they don't mean nothing by it because that is normal to them. So they're greeting you, right? So they say, well, good afternoon, good morning, grand rising, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second, they're walking, you know. And I realize, you know, but you know, because I come from the West. I had to make my mind adjust still. There's a lot of
exactly. You got to get used to it. Yeah.
But that was quite shocking, you know.
I bet.
Like,
I bet. Yeah.
But like I always say,
it's not the same intention, you know. The mentality is different.
The breasts in the Western world have been sexualized.
Yeah, but then tats, you put it on to provoke. That's the difference.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the African girl, that's traditional. Okay, they didn't do that to provoke. That's the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Breasts are innocent. Breasts never did nothing to nobody. I never saw with a felony. I never saw a breast locked up for a misdemeanor. A titty never did anything to anybody. Poor innocent titty. They're used to sexualize, to be sexualized. You know, they're just comfort, the bosom, the breast, right over the heart. It's a wonderful thing, but you know, men are jacked up behind it, and sometimes women use it for their advantage because, you know, I mean, come on, it's crazy. I never saw a titty.
Exactly, man. Well, even that Chappelle did that analogy where you remember when there was Girls Gone Wild with the women showing their breasts here, and he showed the women in Africa like ain't shit. It's a natural thing for them to walk like that.
Exactly. It threw me off though, because the people.
I was like, whoa, okay.
I saw them. They, you know, good morning. I'm like, good morning. I turn around again, and how are you? I'm like, everybody's friendly with their breasts out. It was a wonderful experience.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, that's different. Jeez, that's different.
Yeah, it was very enlightening, you know.
I bet it was. Yeah.
You know, yeah, because you see the babies and everything, and you know, it's just that's what it is, you know, a natural thing, you know. But the Western world has us all jacked up. I don't mean where we're jacked up, but all of us have something that we have to get off of us, you know, that we have to cleanse ourselves from. And after living here, you know, the short time that I've been here, I mean, I lived out here permanently in September, but you know, if I was to come back, there's certain things I wouldn't tolerate, certain things I'd see a different way. And I don't want to come back to the land of stress. I'm good. You know.
No, I totally understand, man. I totally get it. Yeah.
It's amazing. But then again, it's really all in your head, because even when I was there, I never let things. I was always in my own world anyway. You know, doing this stuff that I do, still doing it. Haven't missed a day, but you know, just to have to deal with that around me. You know, like okay, in the city here in Accra, it can be real hectic in certain places. We went to some nice areas today. We had some stuff to take care of legally, and man, it was like, but there was a lot of people out, but it all felt like Sunday. It was like that Sunday feel, like we're laid back, and this is non-direction. This Sunday afternoon, folks at the restaurant, nice boutiques, this and that. I'm like, man, I got to go back to that area and bring my camera to show everybody, because it was miles and miles of high-end, like little shops and stuff, and people were just relaxing and just a different. It was really nice. I mean, this particular place, it has different flavors all over, and I kind of like that place, and I want to go back. You know, it was really nice. But yeah,
I bet everything is different, because even Haiti was like that until with the occupation, we fucked it up for them. But Haiti was a place where people would just exchange money. Like you could just, you know, like taxi drivers or bus drivers, they would just exchange money.
Right,
you can't do that now. Shit.
Yeah, because I heard it used to speak to some older Haitian individuals way back, and they would tell me how it's so different, you know, the old days, you know, and people who had positions who were doing well because of different things that happened with the government and things overthrown and different things that happened. Now when they came to America, they basically lost a lot. They had high positions, great intellect.
Yeah, exactly.
America would not accept them as the position they had. It was like, oh, we have to start all over again. We're not going to acknowledge your education.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True. Because my mom was a head of a hospital and executive assistant of the chief police in Haiti. Actually, he was more than that. He was the chief police of all Haiti, and she was the executive assistant and the accountant. So.
Wow.
And imagine you come here and you lose all that clout. Now you got to do taxes. Yep. So you can understand why a lot of people, they rather go to the motherland, you know? Even if you're not going to make it like in the American dream, but you know, life would be way much better. Yeah.
And also the American dream is an illusion. I mean, even here, it's just, you can put yourself so far ahead, but it all depends on the person's individual situation. So I cannot say like, oh, everybody, you need to come over here, because that would be wrong for me to say. And
that's true. Yeah.
I would never use what little influence I have to try to tell that to somebody, because, you know, I have friends of mine. I was speaking to some long-term friends of mine last night over the phone, and we were speaking about that. And I was saying, listen, you know, where you are, and me knowing them, I could say that. I said, where you are, it's good for you. You made it. You're at this certain point where they retired and they have their family and they're good. They have their property. This was paid for. But coming here for me put me ahead. There was no way that I can stay in America and get to this point as fast. It's like you got 3 lanes on a highway, and you're in a slow lane, and the slow lane is at a dead stop. But you look at the other 2 lanes, you're like, why don't I go over there? Now you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the way I like to live and everything, and I've been meeting some wonderful people out here. I want to say also that we're going to be doing some different types of podcasts, really high-end quality podcasts.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah. So we're all going to bring everything together, and of course you're aboard, and Priscilla G, everybody, all the others who are regulars. But it's going to be really high-end stuff. It's going to be so high, and when I mean high-end,
yeah, because you need to connect, people from the motherland and here, like connect.
Yeah, business people who are real. I'm so happy about this. I'm going to have it set up under a whole different channel. But this channel will benefit from it, and everybody from here can go there. But to the world, it's going to blow up, because it's not just me.
I agree with it. Yeah.
I'm so excited, and my other friends, they're very excited about it also. I'm very excited. This is going to be something, But no, I'm not going to stop doing this. We always going to do. We always going to do it.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But really because YouTube and how they come at you when you're outspoken and all this stuff, you know, this will be where this is, but that will be, we're going to touch on everything. We're going to touch on some very deep issues with men, with women, not just the usual blah, 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 blame game type stuff, but some deep stuff from people who are willing to open up, business people, different types, but quality people, and some people that with the connections that the others have, they're going to be some well-known people that if we can fly them out or whatever, it's going to be, I'm so happy. I'm not going to tell it all right now. Empress G knows all of it. I'll tell you about it when we get off the air.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
You know, but I will say one thing in your life, when one or two doors close,
that's
boy,
true.
Those other doors open wide. You're like, I'm so happy that these doors open. Yeah. And just to shine and to be where you're supposed to be. So no venom on other situations. I'm just so happy to embrace this. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I've known you for so long. You've always been a class act, but don't step on her toes the wrong way. She'll get you. That's right. You know? Wow.
Yep.
So what do you think is the biggest problem in relationships, no matter what the pairing, whether it's a marriage, whether you're shacking up or it's a long-term
expectation? That's what it is. The expectation.
Talk to us about that. Expectation.
I think it's the way they program us to be. Like, it's just like I said, because I came from a city where I see the father's not present. And because here they keep telling you, they're programming to believe that if there's no father in the household will crumble and fall. That's not true. I grew up without the father in the house. You know, and I'm the third one who's getting her master's degree, and all my brothers, they got their act together. That's not true. And they're not cheaters. They're not beaters. No, they don't do drugs. They don't go out, do alcohol. That's not true. Yeah, because for example, my uncle's wife, her mother rose 9 kids by herself. 9.
Wow.
And she wrote them here. But of course, when that happens, you have the elders watch the youngest, which is not fair. But then he got 9 kids, so yeah, 9 kids. Yeah, that's the thing. Because even like the poorest merchant, the ladies, they save their money to send their children in France or to send their children here or in France because in the old days they don't send children here. They send their kids to France or to Switzerland or Belgium. They don't send them here. Because here was like, I mean, the United States was like, whatever. Normally they wouldn't send their kid here, because of the American mentality. They won't send their kids here. But then that's what I really love about Baina Berlo, because she said in English, she said her mom saved money all her life because her mom was a merchant too, like selling the market, and she sent her to the most expensive French school in France.
Wow.
And when she got there, of course, so she can mingle with the rich kids. And she said instead of learning something, she said all day she learned how to sit right, how to dress right, how to drink cognac, how to smoke cigars. She said that's what she learned. But she said she had to straighten her hair every day so she can, be acceptable by the white teachers and the white student. But she said the day she got her doctorate, she wore, one of those African clothes. And she and she let her hair curl up. But her hair is long. She said she had the biggest fro. That's how she came to get her doctorate. Her teacher was so shocked. He had a heart attack.
Literally? Figure of speech. For real? Oh, damn.
God, she said, well, I don't understand. She was my best student. I don't understand this behavior. What the fuck do you expect? She's black.
That's right.
Yeah, she's black, and she's like she's the OG. She's the activist. When you listen to her give the history of the slavery here in the United States and Haiti and in the Caribbean. Yeah, because she also she went to the motherland too. She lived in Nigeria, and I forgot where else, because she taught English in Nigeria for years. She married a man there, and then she moved back to Haiti. But I think it's after she established herself in Africa that she started coming here and giving speeches about civil rights.
And plus, she had to travel. She was well traveled and knowledgeable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, she's really admirable when you listen to her. Yeah, she's really, because she said she started to doing like writing Haitian history, but what she started to do is looking for like the people who are like 100 years old, and people in Haiti can live up to 120 years old, because she would go to them, and that's the thing too. People from that age, they remember everything. And
You
me,
right
I
about
forget
that.
shit. I forget shit. My mom has to remind me, because mine is like I'm very selective. I don't need the memory. I forget.
No, but wouldn't you think that it's because in this day and time that we're inundated with so much information and different things hitting us so fast that we
Yeah,
kind of use
but it's not only
a
that
little
too.
more?
But they were, like in African culture, they have you recite it. Like the griot. So you recite it so many times that you remember. So that's
We
how she
broke
was able to write accurately Haiti's history, because
right.
those people have
Right.
been, they have been there. They know the history.
We look at something, we brush over it, and it was just like I was telling somebody the other day that even with this modern day, right, since the television came around, they did a study back in the 70s where they documented like how much was hitting us with television commercials and billboards, and that was big compared to pre-television time.
Mm-hmm.
They understood how you can reach so many people to sell a product, but now we're hit with millions of things a day, even if we don't consciously absorb
Exactly.
the images and the this and the that. I mean, you see a thing of fruit juice here, boom, you see that. You see this thing and the phones, and we're looking and
A lot of
searching
distraction. A lot
crazy.
of distraction.
But we don't grab onto anything of substance anymore. It's all this
Exactly.
stuff that we kind of boom, 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 boom. Instead of sitting
Yeah.
down with a book on a nice sunny day under a tree, sipping some lemonade, and there's nothing else around except that book to absorb the words, because we're really entertained by what's in that book, and we're stimulating our imagination and
Yeah,
hold
exactly.
on to that more. But now with all of this surfing and getting up in the middle of the night and checking emails and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, bing,
You're
bing,
right. Because
too
even
much.
like people who come from Haiti or from Africa, you're not used to like so much distraction. They're emulating. Why are you emulating for?
Right. It's no good.
Yeah. No desire to look like everybody else or act like everybody else. It's not. Because when I used to live, I think we spent a whole year without electricity. That's how I got the habit of reading so much. We had no electricity.
But that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
Really and truly,
exactly.
it affected you in a positive way, and it should affect a person
Yeah.
any positive way, you know?
And then I just kept the habit. I would read a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
when there's no electricity, I go, as soon as I'm done with my homework, I go read. And until today, that's why I have the habit of getting so much news information, because it's the habit from Haiti. Yeah, I could sit from hours and 4 hours just reading news.
But that's beautiful though. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah, because that's how I find out about. That's how I kind of could connect the dots for some stuff, like the article I gave you about the DNA reprogramming, because that's not even manipulation anymore. That's reprogramming.
Yes, I got a few more. I'm putting it in the site, but I'm gonna like okay, what happens is when I copy it and paste it, like if let's just make this up for brevity purposes. If for example, if the page or that section is like 8 inches wide, when I copy it and paste it, the sentence ends like 5 inches. So now I get,
okay.
you ever see that before? Yeah. So I got to do each line and push it up and just make it fit the whole width. It would have been up already. And it's fabulous what you wrote. I can't. I'm gonna blast that all over the place.
Well, you just gotta re-edit it, like copy and paste it on a Word document. It won't have all that stuff in it. Like you just paste it as it is without any special format.
Right. And it'll fill it up. Yeah, because
I think you can do that with Google Document. You just paste it and it'll ask you if you want to do it without the and you said no special format.
See,
and
here's another thing too. You know, Notepad, right? Notepad is like the money launderer of the internet, because sometimes if you take something out of an email and you put it into the site, it has all these little things to separate and different codes in there. When you drop it in Notepad, it washes it, and then when you take it out and it puts it clean. So it's like
exactly.
legal money.
No format.
Right. You kind of it's like a money laundering system. So it takes those symbols out and stuff. It's very valuable though. It helped me out a lot to know that. So I've been learning tricks of the trade over the last 20 years. So I'm good. But the way you were sending it before, since I don't have that particular whatever, and I was saying, I want to read this. You know, and I can't get it open. That's why I said send this to be open or whatever. But that's
exactly.
Now on.
Yeah, because because to me it was a hypothesis, but when I found what Dr. Poponin at Gayayev did, I'm like, nah, that's a reality. Because he used ultrasound. That's how he found out that we can reprogram DNA. Because he used ultrasound and DNA, he noticed that it completely erased all information in the DNA. So from that theory, now he used laser to beam through the DNA, through the helix. And even though the helix was no longer there, the laser will still react as if the helix was there. And they found out that the DNA, the vibratory effect of the DNA, even though the helix is no longer there, it could stay there for up to a month.
Wow.
So that's why I use that same principle to say that people are not made to be canned in a prison. Because if you say that my DNA can be present for up to a month, imagine you put psychopath with regular people, even if they don't talk. So you're exposing one DNA to the other. So that's why you keep having riots and fights, because you're exposing each other to each other's DNA.
Exactly.
It's like you're creating, the environment for them to fight. Not only that, they're reprogrammed too, because when you get in prison, you got to behave a certain way. You have to prepare them to transition back into the world, but you don't do that. You just dump them in the real world. What do you expect going to happen? They're coming straight back to prison. So that's why, like in Germany, Switzerland, Norway, they don't do that anymore. Here, the prison population is 0.7%. Germany, Switzerland, Norway, Netherlands, the prison population is 0.07%. So even right? Even Germany, who has the biggest prison population, is still 0.08%. Yeah, because we have 2.3 million people in prison here. That's crazy. It's crazy. Well, Germany has,
America's a prison nation,
Yeah, exactly. Because they make profit off of you. That's what it is. In Florida, you're worth $30,000. California, you're worth $75,000. New York, $75,000. That's why. So that's why there's so many private prison, because they make money off of you. But that's kind of fucked up. You're making $75,000 off of me, and this cockroach. Your food is nasty. Man, at least give me a good meal. You're making something that. What the fuck?
Yeah, the jail I used to work in, they used to give like, they had dietitians there who were supposed to put together meals that are nutritionally sound, but they you couldn't tell me they didn't purposely like mix the food a certain way. So in the jail, you'd get up, you say, okay, what are we gonna have for breakfast? And they start pulling up the breakfast like, oh heck no. Raisin pan without raisin and coleslaw? Really?
That's nasty.
Weird things. Yeah. You know, broccoli and, you know, just weird stuff. Nothing that made sense. And then sometimes
oh my God. Yeah.
And mix it up again. Yeah. Crazy. You know?
Yeah, that's messed up. How can you make $75,000 off of a brother and you giving them shit food, man? Can't give him a decent bathroom for him to sit down and shit. Gotta give him a hole.
You gotta do that to everybody. You get an 8-man bunk. You get an 8-man bunk or 4 bunks with 8 inmates on it, and the toilet is right there. There's no toilet seat. There's no nothing. And when you go, like everybody's real close to you, you better squat and don't try to be cool. Veins show up in the side of your neck. And, yeah, man, I think the Yankees gonna win. Plop plop. I think they're gonna do good in the series this year. Plop plop. Mike Tyson.
Oh my God.
I used to work with, I see it all the time. Or what they would try to do, some of them in certain cells, is hang some kind of string or something. They get a hold of it and have like some of the sheets hanging down so they can at least have some kind of, you know,
privacy.
Technically, they weren't allowed to do that because anything could be going on back there. Because you got guys that look straight that mess around with other men and they taking turns back there, whatever. But there's always, you have no privacy at all. You have no privacy. You sitting there and pull open a cell door, and it might be like, okay, you have like 2-man cells, you have special management, you have general population, different custody levels demand a different legally, you know, how many can be around each other. And you walk into a cell and, you know, you have some guy knock on the glass and say, I want to talk to you, whatever. You finally get around to him and you're talking to the guy and you see the other 4 bunks in there. He's there in front of you. So there's 7 other ones there. Somebody might be reading the magazine. Somebody's just sitting there snoring, sleeping, farting. And the other 2 dudes are sitting there masturbating with a straight face. Like, hey, officer, can you tell me about the so-and-so form? Like, you can't do that, man, in front of me like that. You know, and I mean, with a straight these guys are going to town too. I mean, what do you think about, you know,
now they're doing this on purpose. What the fuck?
Well, a lot of these guys do that all day because it's just like a stress reliever. It's not for some, it's not even a sexual thing. They inside the cell just like looking out the window, just chicka. Nothing. All day long.
Oh my God.
They will come shake your hand. No, you ain't shaking my hand, man. I'm sorry, man.
Nah,
I ain't
that's nasty.
that close with you.
Yeah, I even heard like on the military, the ships and the Coast Guard, like they don't want men to wear perfume.
Why not? Sister Miko in the house. No, you mean no cologne?
Yeah, no.
Wait, we're talking about men here, right?
No, they'll rape you in the ship. No, they'll rape you in the ship.
Oh, you mean women?
I'm talking about men, man.
Oh my! What? Oh, but wait, what man is gonna wear perfume? You mean cologne?
Yeah, you know what I mean. They're not saying perfume. Okay. I mean cologne for men. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Because when you say perfume, we don't say cologne.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay. But what I'm saying is that, right? I'm saving my cologne for when I'm around the opposite sex if I'm a single man. You know what I mean? I'm like, around a bunch of men today. Let me slap on extra cologne. Why? I'm not gonna walk around.
Well, like something like me, I like to smell good. And they're like, no, there's a guy, they're pushing this so they stop doing that.
if I'm hanging around a bunch of dudes, not like even now, married man, I'm not trying to pick up women, but it's just like courtesy. It's just style. It's, you know, you're around people and everything. But
oh no, this is what he told me. Their person told him, stop doing that. You're gonna get raped.
Oh, me? I got auto clench. Ain't nobody raping me. That thing, it ain't open up for nothing. It's automatic. That's right.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's all. Hey, man, the guy got a wife and 2 kids. Did you tell me about a rape him? What the fuck?
What? Nah. They gonna look at me like, no, we ain't gonna mess with him.
Yeah, imagine that they rape women. What? Yeah, because there's a lot of it's just that men don't really talk about it. But yeah, it's not only women that rape it, men rape them too. But it's not mostly in the military. But yeah, but that's the thing too. Mm-hmm. When the victim, you know, domestic abuse or the stuff like that, they're most likely to be victimized again. Unfortunately, it's like, you know, because it's something to do. I think it's maybe that it's spread from your DNA or something. It's like abusers smell it from you. They smell it. Automatically you attract the next abuser, unless you got like a strong personality and you're like you can discriminate, like, you know, like yeah, they're gonna smell it on you. Well, because they did a survey, like they said that men and women, if they were rape ones, that most of the rape victims, they got raped twice.
So lightning strikes twice in that case.
Yeah, there's one girl, she told her story, and I'm like, bitch, you didn't see that coming. She said she went to a mental institution because she was gang raped, okay? Because it was brutal. But then she met a guy in there. And the guy from the first day started pushing like a kinky shit, like tying her up and do all that weird shit. I mean,
he just started out like that.
And she's like, oh, she would tell him no, but he would keep pushing it. Well, right there, that's sexual battery. That's not S&M. If you tell him no, he should stop. He's not stopping. That's
find somebody for real. And you know, there are women into a lot of things like that. I mean, I remember like in New York, just, you know, back in the day, even back in the day before things were out, like people have different factions of people have in their worlds of underbelly kinkiness. They have ways of communicating with each other, whether they wear something a certain way or a certain collar or a certain handkerchief, you know, hanging out, whatever. And I remember I saw this lady in the train, and she had this collar around her neck, like a dog collar with the spikes out and stuff like that. And she was an older woman. She had to be like, I mean, in her late 50s, but me in my early 20s, you know, late 50s is older. But she didn't live a clean life, but I'm not say clean, but like she had a rough life. You can tell the way she looked. And she took set on me because she kept looking at me and smiling and kind of tugging on the collar. And I'm like, why is she doing this? And so, you know, she puts her legs a certain way. And then she busted out. And on the side of the collar, and it's like a dog collar, she hooked the chain up. And she starts winking at me like, you know, and I was like real young. I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, what the hell? Like she a dog or something, whatever. And before
they like to be humiliated.
Yeah, everybody. You know, and I was just curious. I'm like, what was that all about? And she told me, you know what I mean? That's what she enjoyed.
Me, I want a cleaning slave. That's what I want. You know, like they're clean for free. Clean my shit for free. That's what I want.
I heard somebody else say that one time.
Yeah, I want a massage slave and a cleaning slave. Yeah, you know, there's even one, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, for example, they're so submissive. If they had 50 grand in their bank account, the bitch said they give him all of it, they give all of it.
I knew
so you're not even laughing anymore.
Like that. It wasn't just like that was it, but she kind of, you know, and she told me, she said he was so submissive And he was so like, he wasn't aggressive in any way, but he was so submissive. She said she farted one time and he apologized. That's how bad it was. She's across them.
He's submissive. Yeah. He's submissive.
Crazy. Yeah,
But that's the thing. They think like men, like sometimes they're alpha male. It's just when they get inside the bedroom, they're no longer alpha male.
Well, see, those are fake alpha males, meaning that like there's a lot of guilt involved with that, because I've been to S&M clubs in the city back in the day, and I've kind of observed and figured a lot of things out, that a lot of the men who are submissive in that world are quite successful in the outside world, and a lot of them may be pricks, and a lot of it may be it's a guilt thing. Like
they're real pricks. Yeah,
I'm guilty for how I'm treating the black folks on the job, treating the women on the job. So it gets them off, not sexually, but it lets them off the hook when they can let somebody just beat on them and humiliate them and curse them.
It's a sexual thing. It is. It's a sexual thing too.
It's
it's not like like you get no, but it's a sexual thing. It's not only like psychological. It's the same way where like some men like to lick a woman's shoes. It's a sexual thing. It's a sexual fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of fucked up that you get off cleaning houses and licking people's feet.
No, but what? Why not just make it a business and you can get off making money, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got off.
Some that do, like they're slave for money. Some that do, yeah. I mean, I ain't paying no man. That's stupid. I'm a chick, man. I ain't paying no man. Come on, man. Shit, I don't even need a man to pay me. I gotta work.
Earn, yeah.
I gotta work.
Yeah. But there's a lot of kooky situations out here for real.
Yep.
A lot of kookies. And you know what? We've never seen the bottom of it yet. Let me tell you something. You see how this year came in, and for me right now at 12:25 a.m. it's May 1st already, but it's not May 1st for you yet. but it's May now for me. Like, so on this side of the screen, it's May. On that side of the screen,
that's true. Yeah, it's midnight now. That's true. Yeah.
So the thing is, like, we see things reveal themselves, we find things out, and we have this time that they call Happy New Year. And we never know what's going to come the rest of the year. We have all these celebrities that transitioned and passed on. We have scandals that are revealed, and all kind of kinky stuff that comes out, publicly in the mainstream. And then we find out things within our inner circles that may not be so publicized for the outside world as big, but it's always something coming out. It's always something turning over. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Sometimes it takes a short amount of time, but we never know what tomorrow's going to bring, and it never ceases to amaze me, the things that kind of come out. And when you dig, especially when you see, there's been a heck of a ride so far, and it's only May, and it's coming up May for you in a couple of hours. But we got June, August, September, October, November, December.
Oh shit, I'm getting paid tomorrow. Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's like military. It's like the 15th, the 1st. Yeah.
And you were shocked because you're like, I got paid. I get paid tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I get paid tomorrow.
Wow. You might get some comments in the comment section. Well, you got paid. I'm short a few dollars.
I know that feeling too.
Yeah.
But I'll be like partially broke because 60% of my check goes to investment.
Right. So right. Which means you're thinking still ahead, and that's the way to go.
Yeah. I don't want to be like 80 years old and I'm still working. God damn.
But this system will have you doing that though, and not just the system, but our lust to keep getting more. You have a car.
Yeah, no.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. I do want a brand new vehicle, but guess what? At 58 years old, I'm gonna try to keep that bad boy till I'm 80 years old. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not into it to be like, oh, this new vehicle, the next one over there, just like mine the year after, has a new spoiler or new rims. No, I got to get rid of this one to get. No, it's just a machine. I mean, we flex with our vehicles so much. Do we do that with our refrigerators? I have the new 2000.
Yeah, I know, right? You gotta pay tax on that motherfucker too.
It's a machine that works to serve a purpose or a vehicle, but they've tied so many things in with our ego and with our esteem that we have the car we drive. So I don't get into that. I've detached myself, and I never really was into it. But times I had like kind of luxury cars, it's like I kind of felt good. But after a while, I'm like, no, I don't want to feel good because this is a trap. This will suck me in. It's like when you watch I Dream of Jeannie from the 70s and the end credits go up and there's the the little bottle there and she's sucked back in. You try to get out of debt. And I'm not saying the kind of debt that you said that's a different thing, but the self-inflicted debt, and we get sucked back in. Why? Because I gotta have that. And I promised myself this is the last time. I'm not gonna do it no more. And then we find ourselves doing it again and again and again.
And again and again and again.
Yeah, and then stuff is bound to happen where we need something, but we can't because we pushed ourselves financially. I just right now, I don't want it. I don't want to have no debts. I just want to do what I do and enjoy executing what I do. I don't want to be thinking.
I agree.
You know, I just don't. And I can do a lot of things.
I'm not retiring here. Forget it. I'm
right. No.
Forget it.
No. They'll find.
That's why I'm investing money, so I don't have to retire here.
That's right.
You know, there's a dude. He goes on a cruise 365 a year. He's on a cruise all year, every year.
He doesn't need to keep a home or a house or an apartment. Then he's like living on the sea.
Well, that's the thing. He made so much money that now he can actually go on a cruise every freaking day.
Well, his house must be dusty.
For real.
You better keep his fridge empty. You know, there's a power outage. You come home and see maggots in the fridge.
Well, think about it. You know, you don't need to clean his room. There are maids. You don't need to cook. There's food.
Well, the maid's like, I'm not going home. I'm living here. You might find 12 Mexicans living up in there. To throw off. I only get somebody coming to cuss me out.
I don't want a life like that. Damn. On the boat 24/7? Nah.
No, that you know what? That could be borderline sickness in a way. Serious.
Yeah, but in another sense, probably because it's loneliness, because you get people to talk to every day. Probably that's what it is.
And they can't run. They can't go nowhere.
Exactly.
Anyway, on a cruise. And I guess he gets to meet people from all over the world.
Yeah.
So one thing I've always wanted to do, if it's considered excess, is to get up, go to the airport. And I don't know about now this COVID thing. I'm just saying, if things were the way they used to be, like go to the airport and be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let me go to that strange sounding country right there and not have bags. Just have what's on me. Now I'm going to be appropriately dressed if I'm going somewhere where it's a blizzard or cold weather, which I'm not.
Of course, yeah.
Like, I'm going to check okay, what's
Isn't that what Jim Carrey did in Yes Man? Like and the FBI just called him like, what the fuck? Can a man just go on a vacation? Yeah. Whatever you would tell, he said yes. Yeah, man. That's how ridiculous we're here.
You know, just get up and be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
And, not a show off thing, it's not a fluent thing, but the experience of letting go of not who you are, but what you think is holding you down or holding you there. It's like me letting go of America. You know, it's like the last day that I went to the job and I told them I went in my African gear, little cap on and everything. And I saw one of the people in the admin. I said, listen, we need to have a talk. And so they weren't really treating me good, right? You know, and I had a pristine record, right? So he says, okay. And white folks sitting around, you know, some of them that are big fans of the show and the site, but they don't like it. You can't show it. But I know that because he creep up and see, and I would throw little kicks at him on the shows and stuff. And so they're sitting around like, look how he's dressed, like 5 of them. And they reached out to shake my hand. They didn't want to shake my hand, but I shook their hand anyway because that was the last time. So I told them, I said, listen, it's been nice. And they're quiet. They look at me like I'm crazy. I got this long African thing on, whatever. I said, it's been nice. It's been a heck of a ride. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go. That was so empowering.
Yeah, it is.
Lance, where are you going to work now? I said, I'm good. I'm going to be leaving the country.
Good.
I'm leaving the country. I'm going to the motherland. The motherland. Where, Jamaica? Some white folks in Jamaica.
That's
right?
funny.
Said,
That's really funny.
Well,
it's a motherland for somebody. Yeah.
Exactly. So after I filled the papers out and I walked off, all their heads were watching me as I walked down the hall.
Like, is it
and
for real?
I swear I heard the theme from Shaft. You know, who is the man? It's been nice, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go. I fired them because I knew I was leaving. See what I mean? And now they still climb up and say, they thought I was bluffing. You know what I mean? Because it makes people think, now this may not be a move for everybody, right?
Yeah.
But when they see you do it, and I'm not saying like success, like some big money or whatever, but you successfully execute a move, you follow through with a desire, vision, and you do it, and you're there, and they're like, look at here, look at this Negro. He did. We hope he doesn't inspire the other Negroes like that. You see what I mean? If that is something they want to do.
That's a Stockholm Syndrome Negro right there. Like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Africa's doing really good. That was, yeah, I'll never forget that. And some are like, you know, some like unfriended me on Facebook, which doesn't matter. But I mean, I don't follow Facebook like that. Really? That's some petty shit right there.
30 or 40
Stockholm
of them.
Syndrome Negroes.
He got away. He got away.
Damn right.
And for the most part,
he got a dream. That's what's up.
Like,
he got a dream.
He'll be back here. He's not going to follow through. He's just acting. He'll learn. He'll find out. What is he going to do? Right? It's crazy.
Live his life.
So like, even when I'm here now in other places I've been, and I see people, like I went to take care of some legal business today, and I see people, like it was really heavy traffic. And I see some beat up cars. I see some luxury cars. I see some older folks. I see some younger folks. I see kids jumping around, eating ice cream, you know, laughing. I'm like, look at this. See, I'm not knocking America. I'm just saying wherever you are, you could be in the UK, you could be in Singapore, whatever, wherever you are, and you feel that it sucks, or you feel that this is not for me.
It's not the same stress. That's what it is.
But somewhere on the other side of the world, there's someone enjoying themselves. There's life going on. Lots of times we fall into this trap where we get these blinders on, and the oppressor's media makes us feel like, well, this is the place to be. But really, is it? Does it fit with you? Do you buy the same shoes that somebody else buys because they say it's the best? And do you go and buy the same size that they wear? They wear size 8 and you got a size 12 foot, and you're going to try to squeeze your size 12 foot into a size 8 pair of shoes.
Ain't gonna fit. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I tell people, I never throw off on anybody and say, well, I'm here now, and you know, I made it. No, because where you are may be where you should be at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, every meal doesn't come out the oven at the same time. You cook, you bake lasagna, that stays in for a certain time. You bake some chicken, that stays in for a certain time. You don't follow the timeline. You know, when you're cooking, you know, when you're making one thing for the other, it doesn't work. Each one has its own recipe and timing. Yep. You know, every corn doesn't pop at the same rate. It's not like you put the thing of popcorn in the microwave and it's just one pow, and you put out and all the corns pop at the same time. And when you take it out, you swore it's out of the microwave. You walk away, you hear pop. How that one pop? I took it out the microwave. It was a late bloomer, and so some of us come into our own later on. Yep. I mean, I'm a late bloomer. I mean, I always knew things, but I never executed them until this time. So being older, I feel younger because I feel like I'm doing energetic things that I don't have time to think about. Oh,
exactly.
I'm 59, and 2 more years, 12 more years, I'm 70. No, I'm gonna be banging when I'm 70.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't let anything restrict me in.
Yeah, age is a number. You can realize a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, look at Tina Turner. Her career actually exploded in her 50s.
As long as you feel it and you're doing it
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you catch a rhythm or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, her career exploded in her 50s. What was sad is that every time, they would knock her down and talk about Ike. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Give the woman her own goddamn props. Stop talking about Ike.
I know, I know. Sherelle said, I know that felt good. It sure did, Sherelle. It sure did. Because I felt their eyes on my back. If my back could be a dartboard, trust me, that's what it would be. They would just, and that was news. Yeah, yeah.
But it's like it's a different stress. Because even,
Mm-hmm.
do you know that right now, probably that happens here too. I think it happens here. That's why there's food pantry. But before even the pandemic happened, like in the UK, in Britain, some middle class family, they only eat twice a day or once a day because they cannot afford 3 meals. They just leave it for the children, but they cannot afford 3 meals. And that's happening here too right now, where middle class and working class, they cannot eat 3 meals. They just eat one. They leave the food for the children. That's messed up.
And that's going to force a lot of different types of habits to stretch things more. And a lot of the
Yeah.
insignificant kind of junk items are going to have to go. We're going to have to all eat that one big pot again and make the soups again and real good nutrition. It's going to force us back into that.
Yeah.
Then you got to figure out where you live, the availability to certain types of foods. You're somewhere way up in the Northwest and it's cold up there. And, it's like, okay, food has to be brought to you. You live in the Caribbean, you live here somewhere like Ghana, and food's dropping off the trees. So there's certain things like, yeah, mangoes are begging you to eat.
I know, right? It's like that headed too.
Yeah, it's something. You go to certain areas out in the Volta region, and mangoes fell off the tree and they're all on the ground. You don't even have to go up and pick it. Just, okay, that's a good one. You just pick them up. And you're trying to carry so much. Like, say we had a little cottage when we went up there, the first trip that I came out here, and I'm trying to carry all these mangoes. I'm like, why am I trying to carry all these mangoes and I'm still kicking them on the ground? Let them just get the ones that, leave the room late at night and we go out there and find some mangoes. I'll tell you one thing though. In those areas up there, you hear some strange noises at night. Some things you're not really. Yeah. They do have baboons around up there. So it's like, but I saw this. I was tying my shoe. We were walking on this trail, right? I don't know how I got on the subject. I just have to say this, right? I'm tying my shoe, and a little bug landed on my arm, and it looked like it was a little like translucent, like you can kind of see through it because it was a little insect. Yeah. When I looked, it had this kind of face looking like I had these 2 eyes, and then it had wings. It's just real small, but it looked like a human. And then it flew back. When I realized, what the hell is this? It just flew backwards. And it kept looking at me. Just,
what the fuck?
I know. This is like the Brazilian rainforest, man. There's some insects they have not documented. It freaked me out. I'm like, I don't do drugs.
That would freak me out.
Get high.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, a little thing looked like a little man. Translucent. Not like a muscular man or,
Yeah. The human fly. Yeah, human flies.
And it looked at me, but if it didn't take its eye, it just flew way backwards. Like, you're not smacking me. Yeah, but at nighttime you hear some things. Even here in Accra, at nighttime you see little things running around, whatever. And you're like, what the hell was that? Bats. A lot of bats out here. A lot of bats. I walked out the front door and there was a bat hanging upside down. I'm like, I'm turning right back around.
Oh, it was like that in Haiti too. Like I remember when you used to live in the mountain, like we had to close all the windows because every night you see a bat like, and they're blind. You have to shut down all the lights for them to get out. You know that they will not get out.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but they're tiny. They were tiny, but but it's kind of annoying. Because every time you got to turn off all the light for them to get out.
No, but
that house was fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't miss it. Because you would find like tarantulas all over the walls. Yeah. Snakes under the bed, scorpions, and woo, all kind of lizard, iguanas.
You won't
I
catch
didn't
me
miss it.
in the nude over there. No way. I have an asbestos suit on, you know, a big mask and everything.
Yeah, that's why. Then I'm really not into outdoors. That's not my thing. Because I lived there for like 7 years. Not my thing.
Yeah. Like, okay, like I researched, like in this part of West Africa, they have these poisonous snakes that if they bite you within 30 minutes, you're dead and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'll be on the road. I'm not going off into them parts. I'm not really right here. And they have no reason to mess with you, right?
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
you're invading their habitat. There's that too.
Right. But I mean, there's so much land and I mean, miles and miles and miles. And next week, toward the end of next week, we're going to be getting some really good footage way out from Accra. I won't say what day. I'll keep that quiet, but we're going to get some real good footage way out.
That's
where
good. Yeah.
You know, I'm going to run that camera from when we're here and just let it run. I may even tell the guy, you know, I got this little suction cup thingy with the GoPro. I can put it like right on the hood and just let it sit there and just run. I just tell him to pull over every 90 minutes or so and change the battery, and you'll get some real. It's gonna be dope. I'll let the cat out the bag.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that.
And I'm gonna talk too.
Because I've been telling my brother now we gotta weigh in. We can come there. Yeah, we gotta weigh in.
Yeah. Come on. Imagine that. We'll do shows together in person.
Yeah, that's true. Now we can do it in person.
You know what, dude? We'll
I ain't wearing that wig because it's probably gonna be way too hot to wear wigs and stuff.
You'll be all right. They'll love you just the same. They'll love you just the same. Yeah. That's right. You know, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
I ain't worried.
Oh, I know you don't worry.
Yeah.
You're too powerful to worry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we are African. We are powerful. That's why they're killing us.
Yeah.
We're too powerful.
They're sure trying, you know. But there's too many of us and they're gonna be phased out. That's not gonna last too long.
That's inevitable. That's why they're losing their mind on Fox News or on doing much.
You're right.
You will not replace us. You're already replaced. You just don't see that.
Exactly.
You're
one
replaced.
foot in the grave, 1 foot in the banana peel, on top of ice, slippery.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, let me see what's going on. Oh, let me discard this here. Yeah. Let me see this here. I'm always multitasking, so pay me no mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm about to leave because I really need to go to the bathroom.
Yes. Oh, quite understood. It does happen. That does happen sometime. Yeah. And I lie sometimes. I gotta get a phone call. Oh, somebody at the door or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm running to the restroom. But do your thing. Like I said, this has been enjoyable. It's always enjoyable. And I love the perspectives that you bring, and we keep it nice and light and everything, and it's always a learning experience.
Exactly. It shouldn't be too serious, but we're addressing serious topics.
Yeah. Like when you said earlier, man, I just wanted to say this real quick. There was a little kid on the bus. Years ago, I was driving the bus, and there's two parents. They were talking about HIV. They were talking about AIDS. And the little kid had to be like 6, 7 years old, something around in there. And so they were talking. They weren't talking loud. I just happened to be listening to this. And so the little kid said, why is it so serious? And they said it can kill you. But I thought AIDS was just a number. they got that mixed up. You know what I mean? Like it was AIDS that's just a number. But the little kid mixed it up, and it was like, hey, AIDS.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was like, that was strange. It was like bizarre, but it was like how his mind did that. You know, yeah. You know,
kids are something else with their imagination.
Well, listen, sweetheart, go do your thing, and you know, let me know in the next episode is going to be.
Yeah, I said we're going to do it Sunday too, but
Sunday,
Sunday's
yes,
going to be
yes.
about do the difference between an entertainer and a licensed pastor and a licensed psychologist.
What's the difference?
I know, right?
There's a fine line, right? Especially
there's a fine line. Exactly.
So much celebrity worship in church.
Yeah, because you see, he didn't pastors popping left and right, but are they even licensed? Sure, you're spreading the word of God, but yeah.
Are they really? Right? Because out here, I'll say in Ghana and there's a lot of African countries, these billboards that they put up, and these pastors are like almost doing jailhouse poses. Just.
I know, right?
It just. I
mean, you're not preaching the word of God.
Yeah. It's crazy. I saw a church emptying out, and everybody who had their smartphone, it was a picture, the same picture of the pastor in their the ones I peeped. I'm like, wait a second. That's crazy. Not even your children picture there or whatever, or somebody deceased in your family.
Yeah, for real, man. That's idolatry.
Yeah. So they just lay in the bed and they have a picture of the pastor on top. You know what I mean? The last thing I see, especially if the fingers do the walking.
Because that pastor, I know this pastor doesn't have your picture on his phone. I can guarantee you that.
But he got your money to pay for his phone.
Okay, no, he got your bank account in his mind, but not you.
That's right.
Just saying.
You're right about that. Yes, indeed. That is crazy. Wow. Okay, let me just make this. This is another little link I'm going to drop. I'm going to put it out right now. Oh, I did this too soon. Let me go back on this. Yes, my dear. I'm looking forward to that show.
Man.
The footage coming this weekend and even the next few days. I have a lot of stuff stored up. I've been only putting up 1 and 2 things a day for the last few days because I've been running a whole lot. So to everybody, I apologize for that. We'll be back on course, and as the next few weeks go by, and I will predict in another 6 weeks, the content's going to go up because of certain leverages that I have with technological gadgetries and goodies, and I'm very happy about that. I've been waiting for this a long time, and Priscilla G knows that. And when that stuff comes from America, it's a whole new ball game, and all of our projects are coming along fine. We're in a good place. I'm positive. I feel happy, and I hope to motivate, and make you laugh and all of those good things and keep your spirits high.
Yeah.
And keep things, and that's what it's all about.
It cannot be too serious. It's not like, certain people, they call themselves psychologists, asking for money left and right. Meanwhile, that money going to pay for hoes and strippers. They've been telling you, they've been buying. Yeah, the Stockholm Syndrome Negro been saying he's been building a school for how long now? Where that school at?
And you see him.
Okay.
And some people that when you speak about them, they attack you. They attack you in the comment sections and stuff. And it's embarrassing to me because they get the Cash App, get the Cash App, get the Cash App, get the Cash App. No.
Now he thinks he's a prophet. He thinks he's a prophet now.
Look, I might have to run because you saying that made me have to go. Let me get up out of here.
We can discuss that Sunday. He thinks he's a prophet now. Okay.
Oh man. Wait. But how do you spell that? Profit, like profit, money wise?
Most likely. Yeah.
Ooh, I could never. But anyway, let me go because when you said that, I heard that.
Yeah, because I was like, he showed up with his Egyptian bullshit on his head. And like, get the fuck out of my face, man. Nah.
For real.
You embarrass us when you do stuff like that. Embarrass us.
I know. It's just.
It's not in our interest. Because wives look be like, look.
It's in his interest.
Yeah,
it's in his interest.
Especially, you cannot stay away from the hoes and the strippers. I'm just saying.
I know. And people don't see that.
No,
they
don't.
refuse to see it. No, but
that's one thing, you'll know about Beatrice and Lance. We're not about that life.
No. I'm about
we're
this
not
life.
About that life. No.
And Just keeping it real that way. Any other thing?
Yeah, you gotta practice what you're preaching.
Wow. I got a link for everybody. Little clip that I did speaking about the documentary that we're going to be doing. If you want to see it, you go on into that. But Beatrice, if you want to chat a little more, I got to run for a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to say that just like this. I got to run to the restroom. I'm putting it out there, and I'll be right back.
I have to go myself. What you talking about? I've been holding this for an hour and a half.
I ain't trying to front. I'm out of here.
I take my water pill. Okay? So
God. Yeah.
I'm surprised I can hold it because I took 2 water pills.
All right, sister. See you. I'll talk to you later on, and we'll talk about the Sunday show.
Sunday. Yes, we're going to talk about the prophet. All those prophets without license.
All right. Much love. All right.
Likewise, much love. All right. Yep.
There we go.